Hello everybody, another week and we're back at it. Hopefully this will be the last week. We should be able to get most of the chicken run all wrapped up this week. I ran to the shop and picked up some square tubing that we're going to use for the roof. I think that should work fine. I'll need to lay out the centers, and I bought some lag bolts to bolt that into the wood. That'll also help kind of hold the whole structure together good and solid also. So I think first, it's pretty chilly and breezy and cool out here, but I think first maybe we should get started on some of that square metal tubing for the roof. Okay, I've got 4 of the 5 installed. The batteries don't last too long out here in this cold weather, but I have 1 more to install at this end, and then I think what I'll do is I'll do 1 across the center going left to right, kind of in the center to help support everything and tie it all together. So I'm gonna go charge some batteries and then we'll be back at it. Okay, I decided to go 4 across the one way and 1 the other way. And if it were to get a lot of snow at some point or ice, I could always take a post right in the middle and stand it vertical to help support that. But I think that'll be plenty. That's 1.5 inch square tubing, 1/8 wall, so it's pretty sturdy. Also, here is the wire that we'll be putting up. It is a 2 inch by 4 inch. I had done some work around my sister's house a couple years ago, and she traded me a bunch of T-posts and 2 rolls of this wire, which was a good trade. And it'll come in real handy. I think with the 2 rolls should be more than enough to cover this enclosure completely. So that's the next step we'll get into. think I've decided it's easier to put them up one panel at a time the way I did this one. Hang it from some nails on top, and then in these corners I'll eventually bend these corners, and I have some metal tie wire I'll tie them with. As nice as it would be just to continue around it, just bend it, go on around. I think to do this by yourself, it's maybe easier just to do it in panels like that. But so far so good. It's going pretty good. I left a little at the top, if you can see that or not. I left a little at the top hanging up to tie the roof mesh to. And then on the bottom, that panel is probably going to be about 3 feet tall, but I'll bury that one, part of it in the ground. Okay, we have all the mesh on the top half. Now for the bottom half, which is only about 3 feet or so. My plan is to dig down into the ground a few inches and then maybe out away a few inches also. Animals digging under stuff is not a big problem around here, and you'll see why. This ground is hard as a rock and full of rocks. It's not like Iowa dirt here in Arkansas. So I will get the pick, and I wish I had a backhoe for this, but I don't. I'll get the pick and see if I can't dig down a few inches into the dirt there. Okay, I don't know if you can see real well in the video or not, but what I'm trying to dig is a trench about 1 foot wide and about 4 or 5 inches deep that I can bring the wire down into and then lay it out. So if something tried digging right at the base of the wire, they wouldn't be able to get under it because it would come out about 1 foot underground. Whew, I'm about half done here. I'll finish the other half, and then where the door is going to go, I will bury probably a piece of metal I'm not sure if I'm going to use wood for that, but I'll bury something down very similar, and for the door to close against, that way something can't dig under the door either. So we're getting there, slow but sure. Okay, I'll show you kind of what we got going. I overlapped that. I could only overlap at a couple of inches, but I'll add quite a few more fence staples along there to make that seam nice and tight. And then in the bottom, I will nest that wire into the bottom of the ditch real good, and then throw the dirt back on top of it. And that should keep animals from burrowing underneath. Okay, side number 2 all backfilled. You know, maybe I'd like to plant something along that edge on this side, on the garden side, where the chickens won't be normally. Something, maybe a vine that can grow up on there that the chickens won't eat all of. I don't care if they snack on it a little bit. Maybe if someone has a good idea what I could plant along there, maybe leave something in the comments, give me an idea. But I'd like to plant something there, whether it's something like a vegetable, something for the garden, or even something flowering that'll attract the bees and the pollinators. So anyway, time to work on side number 3 next. Okay, that's all the wire. Along this taller end over here, I can only have about 4 inches of kickback underground. So what I'll probably end up doing is eventually every couple of feet or so put a steel stake in the ground to help hold that bottom down. A larger animal could never fit under that bottom board there anyway. It's pretty low to the ground. But anyway, I'll do a little backfilling. I still need to tie the corners. I have some rebar tying wire I use for tying the corners. I need to trim those up. I need to put a few more fin staples in, but all the walls are done now. So that's a good accomplishment. Well, everybody, it was at this point in my filming that my camera ran out of memory, of course. That always happens at the most opportune times. I did finish putting up that one panel of mesh up on the ceiling, and I had to stop, edit some videos in order to make room for memory. And that's where we pretty well ended it this week. I have 4 more panels, I think 4 more panels to put up on the roof and then install the doors. So as usual goes around here, I don't get as much done every week as I had planned, but that's kind of where we were at. Right now the weather's kind of taking a turn for the worst, and got super windy, cold, blowing snow. So we'll see what we can get done this next week, but enjoy this video. I hope y'all have a good week, and I hope to see y'all down the trail. Thank you.